CFA May examinations are coming up. They're around the corner, probably 5 weeks or so away. And now, how do we prepare in these last 4 or 5 weeks, right? This is a question a lot of our students ask. And I thought, let me split this into 2 parts and I will create a video for each one. The first thing I want to talk about is, let's say you have prepared for 300 to 500 hours, depending on your requirement. Right, you have studied for 6 months to 9 months, and now you're entering the review and preparation phase, the last phase just before the examination. So if you are that candidate who has put in the hours, who has watched our videos, has studied through the CFA curriculum material, has worked out the end of chapter problems, has taken some of the questions from the Q bank, etc. Now you are here in the beginning of April and wanting to know how to prepare, then this video is for you. If you're someone who hasn't put in that effort, you are here, you have taken the crash course, then your approach in this last month is going to be different. So now that said, I will create a video for the crash course people separately, but for those candidates who have studied, has followed the rigor of how we teach here, and now you are in the last month. So what I would say is, every week you take a mock exam. So here we offer a mock exam every week, and now the CFA Institute also has their mock exam, and those are definitely something you should take because their difficulty level of those questions are going to match the ones in the exam. So finish those mocks and also ask every week. So every week take at least 1 mock examination. So you've taken your first mock exam and you got a score. Let's say you got an average of 50 to 60%, which is what we see in our students, right? So let's say you've taken the first mock exam and you got a score and you realize which topics you are slightly weak, right? So you're going to say some topics that will be above a certain 70-80% threshold that we want to score and some below. And on average, you're somewhere around 60%, let's assume. So you need to figure out those topics that you are slightly weaker and start reviewing them. So finish those topics and then come to the topics that you are strong. Always review ethics. So when I say review, it doesn't mean reading through the entire curriculum. It means looking at the review notes, or you can just go through the parts where you don't understand. As you look at the notes, the class notes that we send, you can just scroll through the PDF and see areas where you're not clear, then read through that, right? Just those parts where you aren't clear, and then solve some practice questions from the Q bank or the candidate resources. You keep doing that across all the 10 sections, right? You cover ethics, ethics, definitely you spend some time when you do this. Initially, this might take 5 to 8 days, right? That's what we have seen. The first review where you are reading the key points and the areas where you aren't sure, maybe you're spending a little bit more time and doing practice sets, okay? Then you should be ready for the second mock exam. You take that mock exam and you will see that you have improved, right? So now you are, let's say you started at 60%, that's what I assumed. Now you're probably somewhere around 65 to 70%, right? You are going to see that improvement. Now repeat the same process. Go and review all the material. And I say again, review, not reading through it. Just scan through it, and areas again where you are not unsure, spend a bit more time. But this time, you're probably going to be able to do this in 3 days, right? The time reduces, almost halves is what we have seen. So if you spent 6 days last time, this time for the review is 3 days because you just reviewed it. You're again reviewing it, okay? Now, you would also have a formula sheet. We give a formula sheet here, but we recommend that you create a formula sheet. For level 1, you probably have around the 300 formulas. So you would have written them. Every day review it. Starting now, every day review the formulas. And now, as you have done the second review, now again do the third review. This time, just go through topics you're again not sure, write down the last review, the topics you found it a little bit difficult, go back to those. So maybe now you're able to finish it in 2 days. Take a mock exam now. Keep doing this until you are able to do an entire review in 1 day. And at the end of this April month, you should be scoring well above 70% in your mocks. That's when you are ready, well above 70% in each section in your mocks. And some of these you should be getting 90, 95%. Correct, right? So then you are ready. And last day, the day before the exam, I highly recommend that you don't study, or if you study, just review the formulas for an hour or two and leave it a day for rejuvenation so that your brain, your mind is clear and is raring to go on the day of the exam. As I said, this is for those who have prepared throughout the last 6-9 months, have done all the end of chapter questions, have watched our videos, and now this is the approach they should take, okay? And if you are one of those who weren't able to do this, the initial 6 to 9 month prep, and you're taking the consolidated or the crash course, then you will have a different approach, and I will create a separate video for you as folks as well, probably in the next 2-3 days. But if you have any questions at all, leave a comment below and we will be happy to answer that. All the very best.